Today, we're talking about product management. What exactly is product management, especially within a SaaS company? So first off, product management is a functional area or a function within a software company. Much like there's a sales department or a sales function, marketing, and an R&D team and function. Product management is its own area, and it is responsible for addressing the following key questions. What do customers need in order to solve the problem that they have? What are they willing to pay for? Because if they don't pay for it, you don't have a business. And ultimately, what does the R&D team need to build in order to satisfy the customer? The role of product managers and the product management function is to answer those questions. Now, in a brand new startup with a founder or an entrepreneur, quite often the founder is the one that serves as the company's first product manager. And they often do it very intuitively. As the company grows beyond the founder, that founder needs to be replaced as a product manager and as an entire product management function. And the discipline of product management goes from intuitive and informal to much more of a disciplined, structured, functional area. So let's talk a lot more about that. Product management sits between 5 different constituents within a software company's ecosystem. First, there are prospects that are considering buying the company's offering. Then there are customers who have already purchased the company's software offerings. There's the senior management team that wants to drive a business and make it grow and be profitable. There are partners in the ecosystem around that SaaS company. And then there's the R&D team that wants to know, what are we supposed to be building to make customers happy? To answer those questions, product management sits in the middle of all that. The product management process typically goes in 2 key phases. The first phase of the product management discipline is gathering data. And the second phase of that process is to make decisions. So let's talk about how product managers gather data. Product management team members gather data from a wide variety of sources, audiences, and constituents in order to make well-informed product management and product leadership decisions. Let's talk about some of those audiences. We start always externally and we kind of work our way. First, prospects. Companies and organizations that are considering buying the company's product offerings, but they want to make sure it works for them. And so if there are reasons why prospects don't buy, that will be very important for the product manager or product management team to understand. Is there a product gap in terms of what is needed for customers and prospects to be happy, right? That would be important to know. Related to that is the sales force. The sales force is interacting with prospects. So what are the complaints they're getting? What are the objections the sales team is hearing from prospects, especially those that are product related? Next, we have partners in the ecosystem. When we're out in the marketplace as a SaaS company, oftentimes we will work with other kinds of organizations that perhaps have a relationship with our ideal type of customer. What do they need from our products in order for them to be successful in their roles and to bring us in or to support or advocate for our SaaS offering inside of the companies that they have relationships with? If they have that much influence, they better be happy. And if they're not, we better know why. That's the role of product management. Now, we have existing customers. Customers that have already purchased our SaaS offering are now ongoing paid subscribers. We don't want them to leave. So if they are unhappy, we need to know that and try to address that. If there's a feature capability that doesn't work the way they want it to, we need to understand that and try to address that. If there are bugs and defects in the software system, things that used to work but no longer work, that can be extremely irritating for a customer. So we need to keep tabs on that. And product management is designed to listen to that feedback to help make informed decisions on what things to fix and what things to build within a new version of the software product. Finally, senior management. It's important to understand what senior management is expecting from the product and product management team. Developing a product is expensive. It costs a lot of money to build these things. And what is the return they're expecting from that investment? And given our current product plans, are those expectations likely to be met by the plans that product management is leading on behalf of the product organization? Those are important questions to be asked, important questions to be answered, and to be an interface with the senior management team around these particular issues. All right, now that the product management team has all this data, what are they deciding? What are they doing with this information? Well, ultimately, they're making 3 decisions that are really very essential for the success of a SaaS company. Number 1, they're figuring out what kind of product do we have to sell in order for customers to buy. So from the prospect's standpoint, what do they need to see in order to buy? Very important. Number 2, what do customers need? What do existing customers need in order to keep their contracts renewing and continue to pay the company, hopefully, a lot of money? right? Now that product management has all this data from all these different constituents, it's time to make decisions or at least recommendations to senior management in terms of what we should be building from a product standpoint. So there are 3 key decisions. Number 1, what is the focus of the R&D team's efforts? Who are you trying to make happy with this next release? What types of problems do they have that we're trying to address? What are the specific use cases or usage scenarios related to the product that we want to really improve on behalf of that particular individual or persona? So here are a couple examples. We might have a product software release that says, hey, we want to fix defects that are negatively impacting our existing customers. That is the objective of this release. Or we're trying to enter a new market segment. We're trying to go after a kind of customer that we don't normally go after. And so the focus of this release is to have the product capabilities that that new customer type really needs and for us to be competitive selling to them. So those are some examples of the question related to where is our focus from an R&D standpoint. So that's the first question. The second question is, what are we building from an R&D standpoint? So we have a focus. We know who we want to make happy. We know the scenarios we want to try to address. But what are the specific functional capabilities in the product that needs to be built by the R&D team? So that input and those decisions need to be made and communicated to the R&D team. The third area is to present the business case or financial case to the senior management team. R&D efforts are not cheap. We are trying to build something in order to ultimately make a profit and to grow the company. So given the focus that's being proposed by product management, given the functional requirements that product management has developed to guide the R&D team in terms of what to build, how much is all this going to cost? And after we spend this money and this time and effort, what can we expect as a return? Will sales go up? Will churn come down? Where do we get the benefit back from those investments? And so those are important considerations that product management needs to make. They need to make estimates of the cost and amount of labor that goes into the release or a new product. They need to estimate what's the financial impact of new customers acquired or existing customers that are retained that perhaps might not retain if those capabilities were not in there. So that's what product management does at a high level. Product managers and product management teams are gathering data from a wide variety of stakeholders within and around the company ecosystem, and they're helping make decisions that are very essential to deploy the company's R&D resources in a way that's on strategy that serves the business needs of the senior management team. So in a nutshell, that's what product management does. They gather data from all these different stakeholders in the company ecosystem. They help make decisions related to how to best deploy R&D resources to maximize sales and customer satisfaction. And they pull all of that together to push the business forward. And as I mentioned, product management in a 5-person company usually done very informally, a bit of an art, because the founding team really knows that problem they're trying to solve for customers, often because they were the customer. And as the company gets bigger, it becomes a more formal science, if you would, where there's a lot more data, financial data, custom record data to go analyze to figure out how to guide the R&D team going forward. But it is an essential function, and without product management, a company cannot grow or cannot achieve its maximum potential without those issues being addressed effectively. I hope you found this video helpful and useful. If you have, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions about anything I've covered today or any requests for other videos, feel free to add a comment at the bottom of the video, and I will personally respond to those as soon as I can. Thanks, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.